Hi everyone. Welcome all the viewers and our guests. Good evening, everyone. I know you all are watching it live from the YouTube. We are live, and some of you already know me. I welcome you all to the official YouTube channel of Clat Prep, A Venture of Time. For those who don't know me, I am Damini, and I'm thrilled to welcome all the viewers here for this special webinar on 60 days CLAT success strategy. Okay. So for those of you who have been there in my classes, who have interacted with me, we all know it's a crucial time for us now. We are very close to the examination, right? Every day, every hour, every question, every attempt, basically, it counts, right? And these last 60 days can make the difference between a good score and your dream NLU. So that's exactly what we are going to talk about in this session. We will talk about how to maximize your next 2 months with utmost clarity, utmost precision, and smart strategies. Okay. And we are not just going to talk theory. We have our guests here. We will be interacting with the two of the people who have cracked it to NLS and NLU Delhi. I would like to introduce all of you to these guys. First up, we have Harsh, who has cracked CLAT recently and is now at NLS Bangalore. Very fresh and very in tune with what this year's aspirants feel. Okay. Hi, Harsh. How are you doing?
I'm fine, ma'am. Doing great.
Okay, great. Great. We are very glad to have you here. And then we have Nishant, who has cleared AILET and is now at NLU Delhi. He managed both the examinations and ultimately chose NLU Delhi at his as his stop. Okay. So, hi Nishant, how are you? Uh,
Hello, am I audible?
yeah, Nishant. Yes.
Hi, ma'am, I'm good. It's so nice to see you and everyone here. Yeah, I'm good.
Please turn on your camera. That would be great. Um, okay. So, CLAT, for all the viewers, is unlike any other examination. It does not just test what you already know. It tests how you think, how you analyze, and most important, how you are consistent under pressure. Okay. Two students can know the same concept, but the one who is practicing the strategy and that is why these last 60 days are not just about studying, and it's more about studying smarter and not about mugging up things. We should know what our strategy should be, right? So again, as I said, we are not just going to talk theory uh, in this session. Let me first give you a brief introduction what we are going to do. We will discuss some section wise strategies. We will see how we have to plan our mocks. A very important question that most of the students, most of the aspirants have, how to balance our school with the preparation. Okay, how to manage that kind of stress, what should be the mental approach, right? So that is what we are going to discuss it in this particular session. And I will also share some of the proven tricks from my experiences, that you can implement starting from today itself, because today exactly marks the day where we only have 60 days, not even 61. Okay, so we cannot waste a single day in these crucial weeks, right? So let's begin this without any further ado by first understanding why I believe this year examination, CLAT specifically, might be a little tougher. Okay, and how preparing for the hardest possible paper can give you the edge, right? So the prediction is that CLAT 2026 is not going to be an easy ride. I'm not saying this to scare you guys, but I'm saying it so that you can prepare that mindset. You can face the toughest paper possible, because if it comes easy, that's fantastic. But if it comes challenging, you guys are prepared for it. You will be ahead of everyone else in the moment you see the paper. Okay, so the three reasons, firstly, why I think this year paper might be a little tougher. Firstly, the CLAT 2025 controversy. We all know how this year's examination created, a lot of confusion, a lot of debate. There were a lot of controversies with regards to the questions that were there, and consortium's approach of making the paper, releasing the answer keys, and everything. So they will want to restore that credibility, right? and which means they might make the paper more analytical, more concept driven, and more thought provoking, if I say so. Okay. Second reason why I believe it could be tougher is because of the legal and geopolitical landscape that is right now. Okay. It's very active. There have been major law reforms, some landmark judgments. Geopolitics have taken a new phase. We have a lot of things to look at from GK and legal perspective, right? There are global diplomatic shifts. So questions are likely to test not just what has happened, but also why it has happened and what the implications are. So we might need to go more in depth because of all these current events, and majorly for legal and GK. And obviously, we have the OG, if I say so, the attempt versus accuracy debate. And because negative marking takes your rank up, it can take your rank up or down. Your rank is clearly not decided by how many questions you attempt. It's about how many of them you get right. How do you balance that? Okay. So these are the few reasons why this session becomes all the more important for you guys, because with Nishant and Harsh here, we're going to discuss all of these aspects. And yeah, so before we dive into the strategies and section wise tips, I want to tap on the question which is there on the mind of every aspirant here. Was CLAT really worth it? I know you guys worked extremely hard to reach to your respective NLUs, and now you guys are living the experience. So I want to hear from you guys. Harsh, let's start with you. Looking back, do you feel that all the preparation and effort was worth it?
It was worth it, ma'am. In my opinion, because there were times when I was preparing for CLAD, I was also thinking that should I prepare for it? Is legal my niche? Would I be able to do better in the future if I become a lawyer? Because there were always questions that AI will replace everything. So then why I should become a lawyer? Because ChatGPT can do everything, but after going to NLSIU, I think it was worth it because the environment you get, the people you meet there, the professors, and it's not like that AI will replace everything because we need to do our efforts. We can take help from it, but our knowledge will always become the paramount importance. And if I look back, I think if every aspirant what he or she is doing, it's he will always be like, it's not like he will regret why I studied so much, but it will help him in the future. If you are reading newspaper today, then in college it will help to read more better than other student, because most of the preparation in college is about reading only. There will be no questions asked. It's about reading 1,000 pages, reading arguments, reading case laws. So whatever you do for CLAT preparation, it will help you in future.
Great, great. That's a very good insight to start with. I think all the students will kind of get Nishant, about you. You cleared AILET and now you're at NLU Delhi. So do you feel the hard work and those long hours of preparation paid off really well?
Yeah, so I would like to start by actually acknowledging that going to an NLU is such a great thing, such a great feeling. I was not pretty excited about going to NLU in the hindsight, but then now I am there and I get to meet a lot of new people, a lot of professionals, and a lot of good professors, and also interactive seniors in the college. So I think now that if I have to pursue my career in legal field, NLUs are the best place to be in, to have the best professors teaching you, to have the best opportunities, best centers working. But that is something that you must figure out after giving CLAT or after clearing the paper. For now, in when I was in this point at my preparation, when 60 days were left, I was only thinking about one thing, that is to clear the paper. And yeah, that is what is something everyone should do, because going to an NLU is a dream. You might be confused about the legal field, but then I am assuring you that when you go to NLU, there are a lot of avenues apart from legal field only. Like people are there doing MBA, they are pursuing, they are looking towards giving UPSC, and there are a lot of people. There are entrepreneurs. There is a center in my college in New Delhi which
Hmm.
works on innovation and entrepreneurship. So opportunities are manifold. It's just that you have to get there, and that is the motivation that should push you right now to work hard towards the paper. And how to crack it, I guess we'll talk about it later. But yeah, experience at NLU is fantastic. Moreover, the culture there is pretty good. After the classes, I always go to music room, and at night I play sports because I am inclined towards sports and music as well. So the
Yeah.
life there is pretty good. Even the mess food is very good. So yeah, there are a lot of perks to go to the NLUs, one of the NLUs. You should work hard for it, and this is the right time to lock in.
Hmm.
That's what.
Great, great. That's great to hear. You actually already answered my question. I was about to come to, the question that what is the most exciting part, but looks like you're clearly very enjoying it, especially the after hours, the perks that it gives you apart from academics. Okay, that's very good to hear. So basically, from both of you, I can understand that even though the innate experience is same, but every NLU, I believe, gives a unique experience, right? But the only thing common is that these law entrances like CLAT and AILET, they open a door to a very different kind of education. It's more practical, discussion driven, and intellectually stimulating, if I say so, than most people imagine. Okay, that's what I understood, and obviously being an alumni in the same field. Uh, okay, so basically these are for the viewers who are watching us. I would like to say that these are not just exams. These are basically, gateway for you to have experiences that makes you feel like all your efforts were meaningful. So everyone who's stressed at this time or is unsure in the last 60 days, remember that the effort that you put in now will shape the next 5 years of your life at least. And 5 years is a very big commitment. Yeah. So now that we have set the mindset and seen why this effort is worth it, let's move on to the next step. We'll understand how these toppers structured their journey and strategies that actually worked for them. Okay. And it's the part where we will understand what these guys have done. And apart from that, I will also guide the viewers on what to learn from their experiences. So, Harsh, again, coming back to you, can you take us through your preparation journey? Like, when did you start and how did your approach evolve as the exam got closer?
I joined the Clat Prep, I think 2 years ago in class 11th. So
Mhm.
majorly my preparation started from the month of July only. Earlier I used to go to coaching to meet friends, and I was not that much focused on study
Hmm.
because I was also balancing schools, AMU and other stuff. So in the last 90 days, I was much more driven for CLAT because it's now the period do or die. So what I did was the earlier I was making a mistake that I was not analyzing the mock properly. So I
Hmm.
started analyzing mocks properly. The second thing, my strongest section was GK. So I revised every concept of GK, and what I did was I was taking Clat Prep's online YouTube video of GK. I think they are now also continuing
The
it,
daily analysis
daily
videos that are there.
analysis.
Yeah.
So I didn't even skip mm, from 3rd of January till 1st November. I took every class, I made notes. Then what I did was for every 1 week, I used to make one page, the things which I don't know. And after every month, I would have 4 pages.
Hmm.
So then, after revising all those stuff, what I did was I made one page for every month, the things which I don't know, and I made some pages for international organization, the dates, and
Like,
all the awards which have been won now. So this helped my GK preparation very much. So I was very confident I would be able to score very
hmm.
good in GK, but everybody knows CLAT GK was easy. But in AILET also, I was able to score very good marks in GK.
Okay.
So my strongest section was GK, and earlier my weakest section was critical reasoning only.
Hmm.
But in the last 3 months, what I did was I practiced every type of question. I tried to find what is common in every question. Like, for example, if you are finding assumptions, then they are in 90% chance that you would be able to find in this way the assumption. So
Right.
I was not that much good in critical reasoning, but what I did, I made some tricks that
Hmm.
I used, and which helped me to get a consistent score in critical reasoning around 20 minimum in the last 10 mocks.
Hmm.
Yes.
So, if I would want to know in detail that how your approach changed, obviously you told about CR being your weakest area because obviously GK was something that you were interested in. So doing that practice every week, every day was a little more easier for you. But for the tougher part that was there, what was that one thing that you would say changed in terms of being evolved in your preparation for that particular section, which made you get closer to your dream NLU?
The problem I was facing was I was stuck at around 80 marks only. So
Hmm.
now I knew that I need to, my, I think score was around 10 to 15 on CR. So I was
Okay.
now at the point that I need to score 20 plus, and I also
Hmm.
need to attempt maths also if I want to get to NLSIU. So what I started, I went to Vishal sir and told him about all the problems I was facing. Then he told me to practice as much as you can, and all the mocks which you have given, analyze it, attempt it
Hmm.
again. And if you want any other mocks, you can get from me. And so the thing what I did was I earlier I was making a mistake that I did not read the passage properly,
Hmm.
and I rushed all the questions, and I was like, I need to attempt more questions, and if I will attempt, I will get marks. But that
Hmm.
was the blunder I was making. So
Hmm.
what I started was I made a time period in my home, like I will give 30 minutes to CR, but I need to score 20 plus. But
Hmm.
then also I figure one thing, that if I'm giving 30 minutes, then I'm overthinking everything, and
Right.
then also I'm making mistakes.
Hmm.
So I don't know it's a sure method, but what I did, I started using my instinct. If
Hmm.
I read the passage properly, then question also properly, then
Hmm.
after reading all the option, the answer which came first, I ticked that answer.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
didn't overthink and anything. And
Right.
I think for it worked for me, because then I was able to get good marks in CR
Hmm.
only, and I was able to complete the CR in
Hmm.
20 minutes, and most of the time my CR got completed in 20 to 22 minutes, and I was able to get a score of 20 plus marks. So I think you can use your instinct to get answers.
Hmm.
Just practice, and it's not like that you will read some concepts. After reading all the concepts, you need to attempt questions, and when you attempt question, then only you will able to know what's the problem you are
Right.
facing.
Right. Great. So basically, trust your instinct. The common thing that we all hear generally in life also that applies to your examinations. Trust your instinct. Focus on accuracy first. What we can understand from this experience is that putting too much pressure of finishing something in time kind of throws you off the track. So first, everyone who's listening to this, you should work on your accuracy first, and maybe later introduce the time thing. Then you'll be able to manage it better in the last few months. Okay, so because obviously it's not about the questions only, but it's about evolving is what I was trying to understand. So Nishant, coming to you, you prepared for both the examinations, right? So two exams with different patterns, different requirements. How did you manage balancing all this preparation without feeling burned out? Because you had schools also and all of that. So what would you like to say about it?
Okay, so the course of my preparation started in July 2024. Uh, Prior to that, I was enjoying my life. I was on to a trip to Goa, but that's not necessary for now. So the one thing that I understood while preparing for the paper, like, was that you need to be consistent, and this paper is more about application than to remember or memorize something. So I was pretty keen to, you know, brush up my application skills about the parts that are common in AILET and CLAT, and that's how I managed to, prepare for both the papers simultaneously. So one thing, like the aspect of preparing, that the mentors would take care of, like, I used to, study for around 6 hours in a day, and that was enough for both the papers that I thought. So, coming to that point, I would firstly suggest everyone to be consistent with your preparation, because everyone has their ways. I had my own way, which was very unorthodox, but that was my way. I used to do all the reading sections together and then GK and maths at the last, which might not work for everyone. So, find your way and be consistent with it. Secondly, trust your mentors. I was very grateful to have Vishal sir as my mentor, because he was the perfect person that I was looking for. It was just the perfect mix of motivation and, scolding sometimes because I was doing some mistakes. So trust your mentors, and then try to apply what you have learned till now, because now that we are 60 days away from CLAT and AILET of this year, so it is important that whatever you have learned, you know how to apply it. Because at the end of the day, even if you are very good at English or you are very good at CR, but you don't know how to manage your time, or you don't know how to get the information out of a passage. You are good at GK, but you don't know how to holistically cover a topic. You are just, touching upon things, but you don't know in depth. Or you are not good at maths, or you are not good at anything else, but you are trying to apply. So that is what I'm saying. You should be now focusing on application part. So giving mocks alternate days becomes very, not alternate days, but on a frequent basis becomes very important. My strategy was to give a mock a day and then analyze it on the other day, and then again repeat the process. So this is how I managed to get through both the exams. But yeah, because most of the part is overlapping, it is not that difficult to, uh, says manage both the papers together. We had a question of analytical reasoning in CLAT as well. So now
Yeah.
that distinction is also gone, that only analytical reasoning is something that not comes in CLAT and which is only unique to AILET. Now everything overlaps. English is there in AILET and CLAT. GK is there in AILET and CLAT. Critical reasoning is there in AILET and CLAT, and now even analytical reasoning has found its way into CLAT. So essentially they are different papers, they have different kind of questions, but the approach remains the same. And if you master this skill of applying what you have learned, because you are at a great place being at Clat Prep, you are at a great pace. I am confident that you are getting the material and resources out there. It's just that the one who applies their skills better gets through the paper. So the last 60 days would should focus on, applying what you are learning. And application includes how to attempt a question, what should be the attempt of your order of your attempt, how should you manage time, what are the questions that you should, tackle first, finding your weaknesses and working upon that, finding your strengths and preserving them. So this is something that you should work on. And again, the last thing I would want to say is have faith and confidence in yourself. If you lose out on that at this point in preparation, that would hit you back hard, because there would be some people that are preparing for 2 years, there would be some people who are preparing for 2 months, and they might be at the same pedestal. So this should not either demotivate you or make you overconfident that you are, good, doing very great. It's all it Everything boils down to that particular day, that particular question paper.
Yeah.
So just keep applying, keep getting better every day, and
Yeah.
like a single person better also helps. So yeah, that is what I would like to say to everyone. And 60 days, trust me, 60 days are enough to prepare, because I started my preparation in July, which was pretty late. And being honest about it, I was not very serious till this point in my preparation. But after that, I realized that wow, NLU is a great place to be, and I wanted it very badly. So I worked upon it, and yeah, being motivated, being confident, and applying what you have learned would help you. Yeah, like the dividends would be enormous. So yeah.
Great, great, great. Yeah, you kind of gave hope to everyone else who was still worried till now, and maybe you gave them some confidence. But that brings me to one very important thing that a lot of students ask, that in some sections they are, still lacking somewhere. They're still scoring less marks, even lesser than 50% of the section. है ना? तो that in that case, I believe. They still have time to focus on the basics rather than being specific about the time, or being specific कि हाँ अगर हम sectional solve कर रहे हैं तो we have to solve it in within a particular time. I believe if you are someone who's scoring less than 50-60% in any particular section, it could be any section, it could be maths, it could be logical, anything. I think in that case, you should first focus on your basics. That way, you will understand what you are lacking and what is the area that you really should focus on. After that, I think once you get a little better at it, you should go back to what you have reviewed and specifically focus on the topics that you think कि यार अब ये तो सर के ऊपर से जा रहा है, ये नहीं हो पाएगा बिल्कुल भी, है ना? तो still try, give it some time, and अगर आपको लगता है कि that's something that you should skip, don't skip it altogether. Try to keep working on it while making sure that you're practicing the areas that you're really good at. Because बहुत बार होता है that we get overconfident कि हाँ legal तो मेरा बहुत अच्छा है या maths तो मेरा बहुत अच्छा है ना, तो वो सारा चीजें हो जाता है. So that was absolutely a good insight from you guys. And so because we have understood the like broader mindset of it, let's go back to the section wise strategies. Harsh has talked about his GK strategy already, because it is his forte, and you have also talked about some parts. So still we'll add on, we'll break down some the parts, and each section we'll try to explain to them in a different way. We'll tell them that how they should approach a particular section. So coming back to this particular practical strategy, let's start with the legal reasoning and maths. So these are two sections. Maths is something that all the students, including me, when I was preparing for my law entrances, I was very scared of that. Okay, so that is one thing. And legal reasoning is something which is new to everyone. People have not studied the section, but by the end of it, they sometimes get a little comfortable with. But for maths, I believe that you should attempt at least one set daily when you are at this juncture of time, which means like usually 5 to 6 questions every day, one set. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this sounds small when we hear it. But that builds a consistency, right? That builds a speed, that builds our accuracy, that tells us how to manage our time. So I would suggest everyone to not try too many questions at once, but stay focused on maybe one topic, make it a little better, and then practice another one. Harsh, what do you have to say about this part? How were you with maths, quant DI?
I was pretty bad with maths. Uh,
Okay.
I think till mock 20, I did not attempt any math section, and even if I was
Hmm.
attempting it, I was getting a zero or minus marking. So I was very scared of math that I should not attempt it.
Okay.
And I was focused on I should attempt with accuracy, and the 15 minutes which I will get from maths, I should apply it to other section and get as much marks as I can. But
Hmm.
in the last 2 months, I realized at this point of time only, if I will not able to get in a NLU, if I will not attempt maths,
Hmm.
then I went to teachers of Clat Prep and I told them this is the marks I'm getting. But if I will be able to get around 6 to 7 marks in maths only, then also I will get a very good NLU. So then
Absolutely.
what I did was the first I think the first thing I did, what are the concepts which we need to do, like this
Hmm.
average and all other points. I did some basic of all the did basic questions from the modules that were given to us and from the previous year's mocks, and I used to give every day 2 to 3 hours to maths only, because early in the after around 10 to 15 days, then also I was not able to get a good score in maths. Then I
Hmm.
started, then I again went to teachers and I told them I started doing maths, but then also I was not able to complete the maths in the time period. I knew how to attempt it,
Hmm.
but then a good advice was from them was, you do not need to get the answer. Like if answer is 28.67, you need to do not need to do full mathematics. You just need to get probably this could be the answer.
Hmm.
And this helped me to get a good score. In my opinion, 6 to 7 were good score for me,
Yeah.
because I was able to balance it from other section.
Huh.
Maths was my not my niche. You can ask Nishant for maths.
Yeah, yeah. When I was talking about maths, I could see your face and I could see the expression, and I knew that Harsh is the right person to ask this question because he kind of has started from scratch when it comes to maths. है ना? Nishant, what about you? Were you good with maths, or were you just like rest of us?
I was even worse than that.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, even I was not very good at maths, not at all good at maths.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I belong to an humanities background, so I was not well acquainted with maths.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, you have to understand that this paper now have become like more attempt oriented as well. It previously, Clat previously used to have 150 questions in 2 hours, so you had the leverage to, being accurate in 120 questions and then scoring 100 out of them and getting through an NLU.
Hmm.
But now, provided that the questions are lesser, 120 questions in 120 minutes, which are pretty doable, if you
Hmm.
don't attempt like majority of them, you will already fall behind in the race.
Hmm.
So maths is pretty important, and that's what I realized. But again, I was not very good at it, so I put the pen and paper down and started doing maths. Maths is all about actually applying it. You cannot, it's not an abstract subject that you can study while reading or while being, dormant in your preparation. You have to be very dynamic. So I firstly, like as Harsh said, as Harsh rightly pointed, you have to get your basics clears. And for that, attend your classes, go to your modules, learn all the formulas,
Hmm.
learn how to apply that formula in which condition and which caselet you have to apply it. So firstly, sit down and get your basics done, and then practice consistently. As ma'am, you rightly said that one set might sound a little low, but then when you do it regularly, you realize that the compounding effect is very good, and it's pretty hard to do even a single set every day.
Right.
So when you are done with your basics, start practicing maths. And the only way to get rid of the fears of this quantitative section is to attempt it. So that was my mindset, and mindset matters a lot in this particular section
Hmm.
because most of the people, I am assuming, although it's a hasty generalization, but I'm assuming that most of the people are afraid of maths. They might be good at it, but they are afraid.
Yes.
So you have to firstly get that confidence and get that mindset right, that I have to do this to get into an NLU. Otherwise, I'm not getting into an NLU. That was my mindset. So
Right.
yeah, I worked hard. I pushed through nights to just to
Hmm.
understand the basic concept in maths. So yeah,
Right.
that is what I would suggest doing in maths. And again, I wanted to start with this point, but now it's getting into my mind that you might be at very different stages at your preparation. So your
Hmm.
strategy also depends on that. A person who is preparing for 2 years might have their basics right. They might be scoring 10 or 12 marks in maths consistently.
Right.
And the people who are starting right now, there are a lot of people who clear CLAT in 60 days as well. I know at least 5 people in my university who have cleared CLAT within a month or two. So, if you are at that juncture in your preparation, then you have a whole together different strategy. And then again, the mentors would help you the most and find what suits you the best. Because again, this paper, there is no such hard and fast tool that you can do it in that way. You can
Right.
have your own ways which would benefit you. So just be confident and attempt maths because provided the paper is now pretty doable in 2 hours, you have to
Hmm.
attempt most of the questions to get through and good and get through a good NLE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I tackle the quantitative section.
Great, great. So basically, everyone else who's sailing in the same boat as all of us, uh, you need to start practicing. I still have a lot of students when I take classes, I ask them and they tell me that, ma'am, it's something that haunts us. Math haunts us. So I'm like, you still need to start with it. I understand initially you may feel a little low कि यार मुझे ये भी नहीं आ रहा, वो भी नहीं आ रहा. काफी आपका confidence low हो जाता है. But once you start with it, try. Obviously, average and ratio proportions are still comparatively easier concepts. So try them, solve their questions, pick questions from the set that are from those areas, and obviously after once or twice practice you will be able to sail through it, and फिर उसके बाद धीरे धीरे एक एक चीज को उठाओ, because even 6 to 7 marks makes a lot of difference. Imagine these guys, if they would have skipped maths, they would not have been where they are today. And correct me if I'm wrong, maths, even though it haunts us, we cannot deny the fact that it makes or breaks the rank, right? So everyone focus on that. कितना भी डर रहे हो आप maths से, just tell this to yourself every day कि नहीं, इस बार तो हम एग्जाम फोड़ देंगे, मतलब, है ना? ठीक है. So that's about maths. Next I would like to come up to legal reasoning. Legal reasoning, I believe daily practice is essential, because even if you attempt 10 to 15 questions, or about 15 to 20 minutes of reasoning questions, if you solve, you can make a huge difference, again with consistency. So because that what it will help you with, over the time you will start seeing patterns in the questions. You will be able to find out that how these questions are framed, and once you crack that pattern, you will be able to get an edge among you will be better than others who have still not cracked, who are still trying to push their limits. Okay, so Harsh, what do you think that is one common mistake that students make in legal reasoning? Because from my experience and the students that I have mentored, that I'm still mentoring, they start with a clean slate, as I said, but by the end of it they become too comfortable with the subject, and so much so to a point that it becomes easier for them. One of the easiest subjects उन्हें लगता है कि हाँ, हमें concept समझ में आ गया और question हम solve कर लेंगे, and because of that they make some silly mistakes. तो या तो वो silly mistakes make कर देते हैं, या फिर कुछ ऐसा concept आ जाता है जो शायद हमने पढ़ा नहीं होता है, because again it's a vast subject. So what do you think is that one common mistake?
From here, in legal reasoning, the definition of the comfortable, what we think is, we have attempted so many mocks, and most of the students know what are the basic principle of torts, what could come in criminal, what are the definition of liabilities, damages. So what they think is, when first blunder, what they do is, when they read passage, they were like, we know what would be written in the passage. Sometimes they skip the passage and they direct go to questions. And another thing, when they read questions, what I have seen is the last one or two lines of the questions are very important, because it's the where the paper maker changes what he wants to ask. So the first thing, after getting a good marks, because I've seen, I was also able to get a consistent streak of 29 30, but there was, after these mocks, then I was also able to get 24 25. The problem what I did was, I was of the opinion that I know what will be asked in the questions, and I will attempt the questions very fast, and I will complete legal reasoning in 20 to 25 minutes. So it's not like that. You should attempt legal reasoning like you don't know anything. Read the passage properly, because in every passage there are some words, the keywords, which would be asked in the questions. If you are able to figure out the keywords, and if you read the questions properly, then you will able to eliminate easily the options which are tougher, because there are four options, and you can easily eliminate two, and you are always confused between two. So for getting a very good accuracy in legal reasoning, just put this in mind that you don't know anything about legal reasoning. You need in every mock, it's like starting from a clean slate. Attempt the questions properly, read it properly, don't rush through it, and don't be like that. I know I have attempted so many questions and legal reasoning is my niche, that I will be able to get good score in this. You will eventually get a good score, but you should not be overconfident.
Hmm. And even when sometimes you read the passage, you read the question, आप बस एक बहुत important word भूल जाते हो देखना, which is not in the question. The word not, that creates a lot of problem for a lot of students. I think question पूछता है what can not be implied, आप पढ़ लेते हो what can be implied, और फिर आप बस अपना मार्क वहां लूज कर देते हो. So yeah, that was one thing, that's good, because बहुत बार at this stage students are like कि नहीं, reasoning is something that we are good with, हमने torts पढ़ लिया, as her said, contracts, constitution सब पढ़ लिया है. But there's a reason why consortium has written that you do not require prior legal knowledge to solve this particular section. So even we teach you that so that it can act as a helping hand for you. It can support you during the examination, because completely नया concept आ जाएगा तो आपको भी समझ नहीं आएगा. Even that stands true for GK also, that let's say some concept from international law, Indo-Chinese relations, that comes up for GK. And if you don't know the concept, that is just one word in the passage. If you don't know it, you won't be able to solve the question which is pertinent to it, right? So again, GK is also a section which can give you a very high score if you attempt it correctly, and at this point if you revise it smartly. We already heard from Harsh that how he did his revision. He had his to-do list. He used to weekly revise the things, weekly, monthly, all of that is there. And obviously the daily newspaper analysis, which is on the YouTube channel, free for you. You don't even need to, for those who are unable to read the newspapers, I would firstly recommend that you should read, because that will help you with your vocab, with your understanding, with English, RC, all of that. Newspaper will help you with legal GK. Apart from quant, newspaper reading teaches you everything that comes up for your help, that shows up for your help during the examination. So yes, newspaper analysis is one thing. And for newspaper analysis, I think you should just not read it. You should note important developments, try to link them with some legal implication, figure out if there's a relationship between any legal event or current event, and think about what if this comes up as a question in the examination, how will I be able to attempt it. So once a week, at least you should revise, as Harsh rightly said, and go through everything you have noted so far. His trick, his tip definitely will come as a help for you guys, because that keeps your knowledge fresh. If you keep on revising something, it will keep your knowledge fresh. Last minute cramming the requirement हमें नहीं पड़ेगा. Okay, so Nishant, for the people who are targeting AILET as well, I would like to know from you, do you think, is there a difference between the GK that is in AILET versus the GK that is in CLAT? Because essentially the topics and coverage is same, all the events are same, but in what aspects we can say that the AILET GK is different from CLAT GK, if at all there is any difference?
Okay, so on the face of it, it might feel that the GK in CLAT and the GK in ILET that comes is same, but the questions which are asked in the both the papers are very different in their approach. CLAT focuses on subjectivity more. They are about like what does this concept or this development broadly means in any other context. For example, the Gaza war, what does it mean in a overall context of international law, which is what CLAT is more interested in. But I feel AILET, although there is subjectivity, there are subjective questions, AILET also likes to ask more objective questions, because uh, this is something that I my like this might be controversial, but the point is, AILET looks for people who are, have the ability to comprehend and analyze, because they think like law is something that we can teach. We need people who are competent enough to study law. So for that, they are more objectively driven, like what were the developments in the history of that particular concept that we are talking about. So the concept remains the same. It's just that the approach which is different. The CLAT paper is more subjective. AILET is on the objective side more. But again, the way you study both of these is the same. You have a concept, you go about the history, you go about the static portion, and then you go about the the developments that are currently going and their implications on the world order. Because nothing works in isolation in this world. So you have to, as rightly pointed out by you, ma'am, you have to connect everything with anything, because everything is interconnected. as far as I remember, in the 2022 paper, there was a question which there was a passage that talked about the FIFA World Cup, but the
Hmm.
questions were all related to the LGBTQ
Huh.
row that happened in that FIFA World Cup. So if you are a football fan and you were happy that wow, there's a question on football, there was not a single question on football in that passage.
Hmm.
So that's why you have to prepare very holistically. And but the questions, even though the questions are a little bit different, the approach more or less remain the same. I
Hmm.
had the same approach for both the papers. And again, everyone might have their own ways to GK to do GK, because it's
Hmm.
again a very dynamic subject.
Hmm.
You can have multiple ways. But
Hmm.
what worked for me was firstly consistency, and that I maintained by having the doing the daily newspaper analysis every single day. I had 4 copies of 6 months, having every single important news written down by me in my short notes. And then again, I used to revise them weekly. And at the end of the month, either I used to compile all the important topics, or I used to go to the time compendium that was their GK mantra. So that was my
Hmm.
approach. Revising the news is firstly daily, grabbing new
Hmm.
information, then revising them weekly, and then
Hmm.
revising them monthly. Then at the end of the day, you have 12 or 11, not even 12, 11 months, January to November,
Hmm.
which you have to revise. That worked for me. And second of all was to concise your resources, because one of the mentors, Kuldeep sir, told me that your visual memory works uh, at par at your revising or the
Absolutely.
verbal memory.
Yeah.
So precising or concising your sources would help you a lot. So just have your short notes, your class notes, maybe the class handouts that you get, and a single compendium that you trust,
Hmm.
which I think the best one is with the time faculty, because I have you know
Hmm.
read all of them. So yeah, you can trust one of the compendiums, your notes, and your class handout. That is more than enough, because if you go behind multiple sources, you get to know that again and again they are reiterating the same things in their own different manner or way of
Hmm.
presentation. So it's
Hmm.
better to have a single source revised 5 times, other than having 5 different sources for the same topic. So
Right.
these two were my approaches that worked pretty well. And
Hmm.
moreover, being from a humanities background, I knew a little bit about polity and geography, which helped me a lot. So if you have that advantage, you might just put it to work. Like you are ahead of some people who are from the science or commerce background. They don't know much about GK.
Hmm.
So maybe get a leverage out of it. So I got a lot of leverage out of it. So yeah, you can capitalize on that as well.
Great, great. Because GK, told us all about revision part, but I have one more question that when it comes to actually attempting the GK passage or the questions for that matter in CLAT specifically, the questions basically falls in three categories. Sometimes they are comprehension based purely, sometimes they are purely fact based, and sometimes they are purely concept based. So students have a doubt in identifying कि मैम हम कैसे identify करें कि कौन सा question हम passage के बिना solve कर सकते हैं या नहीं, because at that point, at that stage, you want to save your time, right? Because you're already in so much pressure. You're like हम कहाँ से 2 मिनट भी बचा सकते हैं, तो बचा लेते हैं, why not? So, what do you have to say about it, Nishant and Harsh, both of you, if you could?
Okay, so for that, my approach, like again, anyone can have their own ways, but I would again and again repeat that. But yeah, my approach was that I used to skim the passage in a minute or so, because as you rightly said, there might be some comprehension based question as well. There might be questions that are directly given in the passage, and if you are figuring it out and you don't know the answers, the passage has the answer. So I
Hmm.
used to skim it and then go to the questions, and then I used to analyze the type of questions which are there, if they were based on the concept, or
Hmm.
something which is not talked about in the passage. I used to rely on my memory. And if there was something that I remember from that skim that it was mentioned in the passage, I used to go back and do it quickly. And moreover, GK is a section where you can trust yourself without reading the passage, but that is a bit risky, which
Hmm.
that is risky because there might be some bad if they are it's very highly unlikely, but if they want to test your reading skills or comprehension skills, they might even twist the facts a little bit, so that they make sure that you have comprehended or read the passage
Yeah.
properly. So that it's a risky approach, but then it might work for you. So I used to skim through the passage once and then get
Hmm.
to the questions, and if the question demanded something from the passage, I used to go back to it.
So Harsh, did that skimming approach worked for you as well?
I tried a skimming approach, but there is a problem in the skimming approach
Hmm.
because sometimes the questions which have been asked in the paragraph, they are not related to the passage given. So
Correct.
why should I waste my 1 minute also?
Hmm.
So what I did was, first I find it a pattern that
Hmm.
50% of the question will be easy. So I need to get 50% of marks.
Hmm.
Then I focused on 30%
Hmm.
and how to get minimum 22 to 23 marks in GK.
Okay.
So what I did, like for example, if I'm attempting the first question, if I'm not able to get the answer, then I will attempt second. If then also I will not able to get answer, then I will look to the passage,
Hmm.
because if I was not able to get two to three answer, then it's not my problem. There must be something given in the passage,
Hmm.
because I have revised GK so much that it's a very hard passage. So the sir or the paper maker should have given the answers in the
Hmm.
passage. And there is one thing you can do is, for example, if you are getting around 20 marks or 15, 16, 17 also, what you could do is, in the questions, there are always three to four questions in which you think that these two options will not be, definitely these will not be the answers. Then you should, I think it is a fluke, but you should attempt this fluke, because there are high probability that you will get the answer will be correct. And for GK, what I was seeing in my peers, what they were doing, they were spending too much time in GK.
Hmm.
The problem was that they used to think that there will be answer given in the passage, and if they think very hard about any question, they will get answers. But
Hmm.
GK is not like that. You read the question, you know the answer, you don't know the answer.
Hmm.
So if you are spending more than 10 minutes on GK, then I think, in my opinion, you are wasting your time, because if you know the answers, you will easily able to complete under the 10 minutes time
Hmm.
frame. In
And
some of
for
the mocks, I was able to
Mhm.
complete the GK in 5 to 6 minutes, and then also I was able to getting a score of 22 to 23 marks, and other 4 to 5 question I was leaving because I didn't know. And one more blunder which people did was that they attempted all the questions in fluke, that
Yeah.
there is a good probability that we will get good answers, but it's not like that. You
Hmm.
should attempt only the questions which you know. And if you want to go to the fluke concepts, then the questions in which you eliminate the two answers.
Hmm.
And adding something like GK mantra, what now also people do is, they go to different coaching mocks, and if they are not able to get more good marks in those mocks, then they
Right.
will took their GK mantra, or which things they gives, which material they give, and they get confused that what should I read.
Huh. Right. So
Till you don't give the paper December 7, you will always be confused that, is the preparation of mine enough? Should I revise everything from every coaching? But it's not possible. For
hmm.
example, if you are sticking to GK mantra, it should not be like you have read only one time. You should
Hmm.
read it 4 to 5 times, mark important points, then revise those points, and just finish it. Don't
Hmm.
overthink that I don't know anything about GK. Just attempt the paper, because after attempting the paper, you will definitely know that this is the best choice you have made. If you have gone to every coaching mocks, every coaching GK concepts, then you
Hmm.
will get definitely confused, because I think the mocks, the material which Clat Prep is providing you, it's enough. It's not like bare minimum. It's
Hmm.
very top quality material. If you
Right.
are able to get through to all the materials, if you know all the concepts, if you have taken all the classes, GK mantra, the modules which they give, then you will easily get a good score. And it's not like I'm telling that you will get a NLU. You will get a top NLU. You
Hmm.
could be my junior in the next year. You could be Nishan junior. Just trust on your
Yeah.
preparation. Don't get confused. Do not compare to other people. If there will be some people who will get 100 marks, but then you should not feel like why I'm not getting. You should feel like
Hmm.
I'm doing efforts. I'm getting 1 to 2 marks in every mock, and in the last day of the paper, I will get a good marks. Be positive. Don't be like
Hmm.
pessimistic, thinking like I will know I am not getting more good marks. What should I do? The thing is, be positive, do your efforts. Don't think like if my friend is getting this marks, it's good. He's getting good marks. Ask him what he is doing. And if you think that those points could work for you, you can also do it. Just do the efforts, just study and focus. The problem which people do is they will study for 10 to 15 days, then they will get burnout for 5 to 6 days, then they will again study. You should not like you should study 10 hours every day. Study
Hmm.
4 to 5 hours, but be consistent for 30 days.
Right.
This is what I can add.
Great. Very nicely you guys have put up all the points together. So to summarize it, number one that we can take away from, especially for GK, is that you do not need to rely on multiple sources because, obviously you have a lot of resources nowadays. So it's for you to make that choice that which resource is best for you. But this is not the time to start making that choice. I'm sure everyone who's watching has already made that choice, and that is why we are having that discussion today also. And coming to the elimination method that Harsh just mentioned, I think elimination method works best for other sections like legal or CR for that matter. It may work for GK also, but for GK it doesn't. It's always black and white. Either it's the correct answer or it's not. There's no reasoning involved per se. So elimination method may help you at times, but yeah, when you start attempting the GK section, you can either go through Nishant's approach, which is skimming through the passage quickly if you have time and you think you can do that, and then try to solve the question. Or maybe the other approach that look at the questions first, try to solve whichever one you can, and don't spend much time on it. And whatever questions are remaining, then keeping those questions and those keywords in mind, you can go back to looking at the passage and then quickly solve them. So these are the two approaches, but you have to use them wisely, depending upon your strength and your weakness, which you should know. If you don't know, start practicing. You would be able to know it within a week or two. It's not that big of a deal. You don't need to worry about that part. So yeah, and again, consistency, obviously that is the overall theme of the paper, so you have to stick to that. So yeah, that was GK for us. Now coming to RC and logical reasoning, what I suggest to my students is a structured approach which goes like this. So I tell them that every 3 days a week, alternatively, you practice RC questions, maybe focus on comprehension, accuracy, speed, all of that. And if time allows, you can take a break for 5 hours. Obviously, for 6 hours, 7 hours, you're not going to just practice RC, but make it to a point that every alternate day you at least practice RC for a few minutes. Okay, and the remaining Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, practice the reasoning sets, maybe puzzles, logical reasoning, and looking at the latest year's question paper, and with all of it that happened with the reasoning section. uh, I understand that all of you all are little worried कि यार question कब क्या आ जाएगा question paper में, पता ही नहीं हमें. तो that is to see that's the rule of life, to put it in a philosophical way. We don't know what comes up, but whatever there is, whatever the past experiences have been, we can look at that and we can at least take an inspiration or take it as an example for us. So they're practicing PYQ specifically for RC and reasoning sets. I believe that helps a lot, right? So attempt 2-3 mocks every week, as as all the toppers say, at least 2 to 3 mocks. अब वो 3 mocks में से one can be of AILET and other 2 can be of CLAT as well, है ना? But when it comes to that, you have to analyze also, because these are questions which are repeating again and again. So after 2 hours, then analyze that. If you're spending 2 hours on attempting the mock, spend 2 hours on analysis else as well. So that is there. So yeah, coming back to, I kind of drifted from the whole section. So coming to RC and reasoning, Harsh, you obviously, do you think there's a connection between maths and reasoning? क्योंकि जो students maths में अच्छे नहीं होते हैं, उन्हें लगता है कि क्योंकि कुछ तो कंफ्यूजन है, कुछ तो करेक्शन हमें चाहिए, हमें डर लग रहा है क्योंकि बहुत कैलकुलेशन रिक्वायर्ड होती है, कहीं कहीं बहुत दिमाग लगाने का जरूरत होता है, if I say so. So they get a little worried about that part. So do you think that is the case?
I think you should not focus on attempting the questions which are very hard. If that's
Hmm.
your weaker section and if you are able to get a good score in other sections, then in the weaker section, you should get the bare minimum marks. That works for me. Like if I'm facing something tough in RC or in maths, then I
Hmm.
will be not like that. If there are five questions, I need to get all the five correct. I would be
Hmm.
like, three questions would be easy. Those three I should not get wrong. And the fourth question, which is a medium question, if I am able to get the answer, I will get the answer. And fifth question, if it's tough, I will skip the question because I cannot compete with the person who is very good in the this section. But if I can compete in GK and legal reasoning, because in those sections I will be focusing on to get 6 out of 6, 5 out of 5
Hmm.
answers. And what I've seen is for for these section, what you should do is for maths also, you should not be focusing much on getting 10 to 15 marks. Now you should focus on
Hmm.
how to attempt the questions, how to attempt those questions in time frame,
Hmm.
and then go to analyzing part. The most important part of clat is you are able to analyze the mocks properly. If in any section, if you are not getting a good scores, and for example, if you are getting in CR 15 marks only, and you are getting all other questions wrong, then think like, why I'm getting the 9 questions wrong? What's the problem in it? What I
Hmm.
was putting reasoning in it? And for the 15th question in which you have got correct answers, then also you should not be like, I know the reasoning, because most of the time, not most of the time, sometimes it happens that the reasoning which you have applied is not the correct reasoning. You have got a correct
Hmm.
answer, but it's not the reasoning which should be applied in the next mock. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
analyzing is the most important part, and you should not focus on I should analyze very fast. It could take 2, 3, 4 hours also, but you should be very thorough to the paper. After analyzing, you should not
Hmm.
be like, I think that that could also be the answer. It
Hmm.
After analyzing, if you are getting a problem, go to sir. Because if you are getting B answers, and after all reading the reasoning also, then also you are getting the B answers,
Hmm.
then go to sir. Don't be like, I think there would be a problem in the answer key, because there is no
Hmm.
problem. You
Hmm.
are There is some concept problem in your mind, so you need to go to teacher and ask him. And in the last 2 months period, do not, if you are attempting a mock, analyze it very properly. Even if you are attempting 4 mocks in a week, then also you should analyze properly, because I
Hmm.
have seen people attempting daily one mock but not analyzing it. It doesn't make
Hmm.
sense, because if you are getting 80 marks, then in next mock also you will get 80 marks. But if you want to get 2 to 3 marks more, then you should know the problem you are facing. You should not
Exactly.
be ignorance, because if you will be ignorant, then you will not able to get a good score in the paper also.
Hmm.
If you analyze the mocks properly, then you will see the results. If now
Hmm.
also somebody is not analyzing, then focus on how to analyze the mocks properly, the things which are you are doing wrong. Because every student who has been studying in Clat Prep, he's in all the subjects. I don't know about maths, but in all other subjects, you are very good with basics. And
Hmm.
now what you need to know is what are the problems you are making? What is the process of thinking in your mind? If you are thinking like I should go from A to B, but reasoning is given at B to A, then think like in other mocks, you are thinking like B to A. You should not make the mistakes which you were making in the past. This is the most important thing.
So answer for logical reasoning lies majorly in analysis part. जो सबसे ज्यादा analysis पे you should spend time is because in the logical reasoning, because that actually requires you to focus on the correct reasoning. Again, as Harsh rightly said, answer could be correct, and while analyzing आपको लग सकता है कि अच्छा this answer was correct, but why it was correct or why it was incorrect makes all the difference, because you have made a fluke in the mock, but that is not going to work for you in the actual examination when you're sitting for the examination, right? So yeah, that is about logical reasoning. When it's about English and RC, it's generally said, Nishant, that AILET has a different level of English and different level of RC that they look at. So, what do you think they are actually trying to make you do? What should you actually do that in that case? Because that's one fear that students have कि vocab बहुत high level का आता है, या RC में भी बहुत अच्छे level से comprehension करना पड़ता है हमें. So, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, so in my opinion, I don't think that is a big problem because, moreover, the questions are the same. You have to comprehend a passage and then you have to give the answers. The different part, the differential aspect of is that you sometimes get vocab and direct questions of idioms and other concepts of English.
Hmm.
I don't know the reasoning behind of it, but it is how it is what it is. So if you are preparing for AILET, it is not anything else that you have to do apart from what you are doing in CLAT. So for all the reasoning sections, I had two things in my mind. Firstly, I have to comprehend what the authors wants to say. Secondly, I have to comprehend what the question is asking me. So if you are good at both of them, you will mostly get correct answers. And again, then when you are attempting RC questions, mostly what matters is how you comprehend what is the author telling, and then how do you put that comprehension to work in the
Hmm.
questions. So RC is pretty simple. You just have to get the basics right. If you are good at reading, get better at it. If you are the best at reading, get better at it. So, and
Great.
if you are not good at reading, of course, you have to get better at it. So, just get better at reading and you'll get through the answers pretty easily because they are quite straightforward. In ELIT as well, the questions are not that hard. There might be some papers where the questions difficulty or the
Hmm.
passage readability might be a little difficult, but
Hmm.
that is for everyone else. And if you are confident with your preparation, you are preparing for a lot of time and you have put in that effort, you are again like heads above the rest, and the ones who are with you at par with you, they also find that passage difficult. So it's not big of a deal. It's just that you know how to apply what you have learned. That
Hmm.
would get you through RC
Hmm.
per se. Yeah.
So how to get better at it? Like how you said that you have to get better at it, because not all of the
Mhm.
students come from such background, or maybe schooling ki unka English utna acha ho. So a lot of students struggle with it, and obviously that is something that takes their score down all over also. So how to work on that in the last 60 days?
Okay, so in the last 60 days, matlab, what you can do is it goes for everything and every thing, every aspect. It goes in every aspect. Get the pursuit of reading and get the pursuit of getting your work done. So, firstly, you have to start reading a lot because, again, the paper depends. You have to sit for 2 hours reading only. So, it's paramount that you start reading a lot of things. So, firstly, you have to read it, and secondly, you have to understand it. So, when you are reading anything, break down it in your own language. That is what helped me a lot. Like, if there is some complicated passage, I used to go word by word and break it down in my mother tongue, which is Hindi. So, that helped me a lot. And again, when you apply this again and again, the process makes you better itself. The process is the answer. So there is not really a shortcut to it. It's just that it's a skill that is developed. For example, I have been trained in cricket, so I am, throwing an analogy there. If you are practicing for, if you are a batsman and you are practicing for a shot, there is a technique and everybody knows it. है ना, how to play a cover drive. Even Virat Kohli knows, even I know, even a kid of 9 years might also know that. So technique is always there. It's just that the one who does it repetitively in a systematic manner gets the best at it. So same goes with reading. Everyone knows how to read. It's just that you have to do it again and again and again to get better at comprehension and to improve your speed. So this is a section that I feel like this is an aspect of your preparation I feel has no shortcut to it. So just get your head down and start reading. That
So
is
even
what
if it's
I say.
if it's feeling a little monotonous, I think that's what will bring you closer to success. The more boring is it, the more your chances of acing it are. You know, and that also stands true for mock analysis. You know, that is something students are like, "Ki it's a very boring task, and we have to note down question number, the topic, the mistake after every mock." So it's a very boring task. While they are at it, while they're writing the mock, it feels very interesting that, okay, this is something that I know. It boosts their confidence. But once they start analyzing the mock, it all, unfortunately, in some cases, it all comes down, because that is the reality check. But yeah, that is the reality check that you need to have, so that now you can थोड़ा अभी बुरा फील कर लो, ताकि एग्जाम वाले दिन और रिजल्ट वाले दिन थोड़ा अच्छा फील हो जाए, है ना. So yeah, so that one strategy that we actually, every aspirant swears by, be it AILET, be it CLAT, any examination, that whenever you are finishing a mock, whenever you are you are completing a mock, you have to create a book. You have to have your own diary. You have to have it in written, like a logbook. You are keeping a track of things. So for anyone who doesn't know how to do it, first write down the question number, then write the concept that was there in that particular question, write the mistake that you made, and if that is something that you did not know earlier, or it was new, or it was old, or was there some silly mistake because of which your attempt was incorrect, so note it all down. And it's not just for incorrect answers. I believe ki more than incorrect answers, as Harsh mentioned in the reasoning part also, it's about the about the correct answers also, because sometimes बहुत सारे answers are correct only because fluke. हमारा guess होता है, हमारा instinct होता है, हमारा fluke होता है. कभी कभी we eliminate the options, that out of the 4 options we are having confusion, we have eliminated 2, and we have made a wild guess, and surprisingly in our favor, it is the correct answer. It gave us 1 mark, like rather than giving us a minus 0.25. So analyzing the correct answers also is something that you should do when you're analyzing your mocks. Okay, so did you guys also do that? I'm sure you all did that. Or if there was any kind of difference between what I mentioned should be the approach, was there any kind of difference, or was it on the same lines, Harsh?
It was same only all the points you have mentioned that analysis is very important part of your preparation. And one thing I need to add is about the newspaper reading
Hmm.
because most of my peers who have not got an NLU or not a good NLU, the problem what they were making in the last 2 months, they were earlier reading newspaper, but now they have stopped reading newspaper and they were much focused on attempting questions and all other stuff. But the paper is based only on reading, and after clearing clat also, you in college you will have very long readings. So you, if you now prepare very good, you need newspaper daily. I'm not asking that you should need read the whole newspaper, because when I started reading newspaper, there were days on which I read newspaper for 4 to 5 hours, and now also I'm not regretting why I read 4 to 5 hours, because in the last 2 months I was able to complete the same newspaper in 45 minutes, and used to cover all those points. So what you should focus in now also, you can read the newspaper properly. If you are getting some problems, if they, because you will find vocabulary also in it, write those meaning of the points. If you find a word hard, make a notebook, write that word meaning. It will help in your future, because what you say in newspaper, 90% of the words get repeated every time. There are only around I think 100 words in legal reasoning that repeat every time. And if you write every time, you will. I'm not asking that you should remember the meaning of word. I'm not asking to rote learn the meaning. I'm just asking if you will read the same word again and again, then in your muscle memory, it will become like I know this meaning, and or I will be able to figure out when I will read because I have read this word so many times. And for the I know in what you can do is in Indian Express we get a explain page, and it's very important for GK reasoning because you know what are the if you are getting confused in anything, definitely it will come in explain page. In the Hindu, the editorials. I think what you can do is in editorial when you read uh, I don't know, it works, it worked for me. What I used to do, I used to hide the heading, then I used to read the whole what has been given in the article, and then I used to assume that what could be the heading. And
Absolutely.
I can assure that for 1 month, I was not even able to get to the near of the because I was thinking like, this could be a heading, but most of the time it was not. But if you do it consistently, then you will get the result. Because
Hmm.
what's the problem of today of us students that we want an instant gratification, but it's not possible because you need to do efforts. It will take months. If you need to
Hmm.
improve your reading speed, it will take months. It's not
Hmm.
like I'm telling you to read very fast because then you will not able to get understand. Read at the pace in which you are understanding.
Hmm.
And if you read daily, then after 1 month, you will able to complete newspaper in lesser time, completing all those points. You will see the words which I have written 1 month ago, they are repeating
Hmm.
themselves, and it will help you in attempting the mocks also because are what you need to do is you need to attempt around 110 questions. So it's not like you are attempting crazy like I'm reading fast and fast but I was not able to understand the passage. It doesn't
Hmm.
mean it's not the point that you should read very fast. It's like if you are reading something, then you are comprehending also at the same time.
Correct.
So newspaper is very important. Even after, I think the news of November, most probably the survey will also tell you that it will not come because paper will be set around 1 to 2 November. It gets settled. The
Yeah.
news will not be important. You will go to coachings and some of the important points you can remember.
Hmm.
But you need to read newspaper daily till the last day. Like you can skip in the last 10 days, but you should read not for the sake, then at that point you should not read for the sake of GK. You should read for the sake of reading speed, that I'm
Hmm.
comprehending anything. And if you face some problem, think logically why I'm facing this problem and how could I overcome this problem. It should not be in the last 1 month that I don't know these things, I've skipped those things, because I think you have prepared very much till now also. And in the last 1 month we will, every student will think like I have wasted my time at that point of time, I should not do this, I should do this now. What you are doing, just trust on the process, let
Hmm.
it grow organically, it will
Hmm.
help you very much. Because if you compare, if you skip the conclusion, what I'm saying is analyze, read newspaper, attempt questions. And it's not like a rule that you should read if you should study for 8 hours.
Hmm.
I was the student who used to study like I've set a timer, then I will be like, I need to study today 8 hours, then I will feel very good about myself. But it's
Hmm.
not like that. If you have wrote some points, like I need to do these four things, and after 3 to 4 days, you will figure it out that you need 6 to 7 hours to complete all those things. And if you need to do some extra effort, then it will be that you need to study in the last one
Hmm.
month and in the last 2 months also for minimum 6 hours, could go to 8 to 9 hours. And now there is a point in which many aspirants ask me that how to balance out school and coaching.
Absolutely. I was about to come to the point. So yeah.
So I don't know about I will take two scenarios. In
Hmm.
first scenario, I will take that you have completed your attendance till now and you will go to principal's office, tell him genuinely that you need I will definitely crack CLAT. I just need some time. Just give me last 1 to 1.5 months for me. I will not come to school. I will get a good score in boards also. But first,
Hmm.
I need to crack CLAT so that I secure my future. And I think every principal, every teacher is considerate if they think that their student is focused on something and if they can help it. Because most of the students preparing are not from dummy schools. They cannot ditch the schools. You need to go to schools. But if you genuinely tell them, make believe that you are studying very hard and you need 1 month and I will not come, can you adjust my attendance for 1 month? And from December onwards, I will come daily to schools. I will complete all the projects. Just give me 1 month. I think
Hmm.
they will give you. And if even if they are not giving you, if the principal is very bad, then what you can do is try
Hmm.
to get to the 75% threshold,
Hmm.
complete it, and you should make your November period it's a very crucial period. So you should more study oriented, because if you are balancing in the last 20 days, if you are going to school then studying for CLAT, most of the energy of our get wasted in school.
Hmm.
Because for 90% of the students, because our parents force us to sleep at 10 p.m., so the morning is our golden hour. So we need to study for around, if you are waking up at 7 a.m., then for the next 2 to 3 hours, you are very active. If you do something, if you solve mocks, if you read newspaper, then it will be easily to grasp it. So in
Hmm.
the last 20 days, in my opinion, you should not go to school. And for that, you should complete your 75% attendance. And in the end, in January, in
Hmm.
starting of Feb and December, you can go to school. But it's not like, because I've seen some students who are like, we will go to school also, then we will study for CLAT. It
Hmm.
may be possible for some students, but it's not, because your energy get wasted. In the last 1 month, you should focus very
Right.
promptly on CLAT only.
Hmm. So also it mentally exerts you also more than your time management ke alawa, it mentally exerts you also. Nishant, what did your schedule ideally looked like in the last few months? Was it the same, or were you the one who used to go to school? Because you look like one who studies a lot. Did that happen with you?
No, I was on the similar lines. I had went to school, but very sporadically. I was not very uh, consistent with it. But
Hmm.
yeah, regarding my preparation, I used to have tasks with me written, as Harsh mentioned that you should have a to-do list. I had a to-do list of
Hmm.
mine, and then I was very flexible with my schedule. I was very moody. I did everything depending on my mood, apart from the mocks. The mocks was something
Huh.
which I did consistently from 2 to 4, because that is the time you have to keep your mind the most active. And
Right.
paradoxically, that is the time we are the most sleepy as well. So
Yeah.
that is something that was consistent, but otherwise I was very flexible with my approach. I used to had a to-do list which had the task that I have to do, and then I did it at my comfort and completed it on time. So yeah,
Hmm.
that was my approach, and managing it with school is not that difficult. It's just that you have to convince your parents and your teachers that you are also working towards board. But
Hmm.
practically, at this point in time, or at this juncture that we are in education in India,
Hmm.
board marks doesn't matter at all. Anywhere it doesn't matter. So if you are able to convince that to your parents, it's better. And if you are running behind glory that I want a toppers badge or a blazer from my in my
Huh.
school, so yeah, it's your life. You have your dreams. You can do that, but you should know the priority. And
Hmm.
for now, your priority should be Clat and AILET. And for everyone else, like for everything else, it should take a back seat at this point in time.
And
Hmm.
also, if you are worried about like I would not be able to get good marks in boards, in my college only there are students who started literally from January and their books were fresh as new and they were able to score 95 plus marks in boards. And there is a girl also who has got 99% and she also
Wow.
started from January. It's you I think you are making fool of yourself if you are thinking like I need to study for school also, because if you are
Hmm.
because political GK and all for I was from humanities, so I used to read newspaper, and there were some papers in which I didn't open book also because I was focused on CLAT only. So I went to school exam, I attempted it, and I was able to pass. I was able to get 50 marks. And I was not even for 50 marks. I was just like, even if I fail, what will they do? They will give at the end the admit card, and you will able to get good marks in boards because it's not determined. Because I was not the student who used to sit at the front bench and what teacher is saying, I'm noting the points. I studied myself only, and CLAT also told us that you should study yourself. It's you will not get every time a good teacher. You will get a better teacher. You will get a best teacher in some subjects. You should focus on those subjects, but you need to prepare for yourself. You need to give yourself time how to study. You will take help of other sources. So in the end, don't worry about school. You will get definitely a good score in school, and I'm not talking about 90 plus. You can easily get 95 plus if you study for January and February, because I started literally from 8th Feb because I was watching whole January. I watched a web series because I was happy that I got NLS. I was not focused on school, but then also I was able to get 90 plus, and I was happy. Now also it doesn't matter. What matters is you crack CLAT, and definitely you will not fail in your board exam if you will focus very much on CLAT also, because they will give you a 2 months time frame and you can prepare very well.
Right. And if you're prepared for CLAT in like 3, 4 months, you can definitely clear your 12th boards in just 1 or 2 months because you've prepared for the tougher version of examination. You'll be able to do it. Yeah, that's correct. About juggling between school and CLAT, basically, so we have two approaches. You can either, convince your principal, your teachers, your parents that, okay, I can do it. I want to take a leave for a whole month, last 1 month. But if that's not possible, or if you still have to go to school because of any kind of, strict attendance policies or anything in the school, because we have a person here who's asking that my teacher told me that CLAT should be my second priority. So in that case, you should go by what these guys told, the second scenario that is there. You should make your to-do lists. Make a daily to-do list, make a weekly to-do list, and make a monthly to-do list as well. डोंट मेक अ टाइम टेबल कि मुझे इस टाइम से ये टाइम तक ये करना है. बस list down 5 to 6 things that you think you should do today for CLAT preparation after your school timings. Right? क्योंकि स्कूल में यू आर अटेंडिंग क्लासेस, सो ऑब्वियसली यू विल रिवाइज इट लेटर. एनीवे स्कूल में कोई भी बच्चा ऐसा नहीं होता जो रोज पढ़ता है घर आके. You will study before your exam starts. So use last 2, 3 months wisely. So make that to-do list. Again, I'm reiterating, don't make a timetable. You can have a starting time and ending time, but in between, don't अलॉट स्पेसिफिक टाइम की अच्छा मुझे 1 घंटा ये टॉपिक करना ही करना है, 2 घंटा ये टॉपिक करना ही करना है. जस्ट मेक अ टू डू लिस्ट, फिगर आउट 3 to 4 थिंग्स इंपॉर्टेंट जो है डेली बेसिस पे. लाइक सम न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग होना चाहिए, शायद हफ्ते में 2 दिन मॉक होना चाहिए, है ना. ऑल ऑफ दैट, एंड कीप टिकिंग दोस टास्क एवरी डे, बिकॉज when you see that tick mark, no, it kinds of gives you a confidence that अच्छा मेरा इतना कुछ हो चुका है. And not just daily, out of those 7 days task list, make a weekly task list also, and look at the 5 to 6 most important things उस पूरे week की. और क्योंकि obviously if you're listing 7 things in that to-do list, you would not do all 7 of them in most of the cases. Some people can do that, but if you're someone who's on a time crunch, difficult हो जाता है थोड़ा. So tick those mark, or every Sunday check that कि week में highest priority task जो था, have I completed it or not, and if I have completed it, how much I am satisfied with that. So when you see your progress visually, like how earlier also we had that discussion, those ticks, those check marks, that will motivate you. आपका consistency को reinforce करेगा वो in a way. And obviously we have understood now that consistency beats intensity. हमें quantity पे focus नहीं करना है. We have to focus on the quality, especially at this juncture, especially at this time, because we only have some small time, not a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time actually, to be very honest. I would not give you guys false hopes, but if you are someone who can push it through, last 2-3 महीने सब छोड़ो. I understand there are some things that we like, okay, I need to take a break. That जैसे for Nishant it could be cricket. Maybe he wanted to go play cricket every day in the evening at least for an hour so that he can, put all of that tension to something productive and come back to it. And so that way, Harsh, what is it that kept you motivated? Was there something like that?
Yes, ma'am. I will come to that question. As somebody has told it, because I was able to relate that
Hmm.
her teacher or his teacher told him that class should be the second priority.
Hmm.
There is an incident from my school.
Okay.
My class teacher told my parents that CLAT is not important. He should come to school, study it, and you will send him to any school of any college of Jaipur, JECRC, or any other stuff because NLS it's not important. He should focus on school only.
Hmm.
So I took that on ego,
Huh.
and when I cracked CLAT,
Huh.
and then that teacher invited me to school
Hmm.
and to introduce in all the student that he has cracked CLAT and you should focus it like it's
Wow.
the best revenge you can get. And
Hmm.
another one of my friend who is also at the Bangalore only, her teacher same told her parents that she should not pursue CLAT because she will not able to crack it. She cracked CLAT and she became the school topper of that school.
Oh, yeah.
So took if somebody is saying that CLAT should be second priority, took it on ego. Give him the best revenge you can get.
Yeah.
And ma'am, what question did you ask?
No, no, sorry. Your voice was just cracking. Please continue.
No, ma'am, which question you asked me?
Which question? Oh, I was asking about the fact that what is it that was keeping you going, which kept you motivated कि अच्छा पढ़ाई बहुत हो गया and I should give some time to something else also क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा stress हो जाता है, right? We think कि अच्छा पढ़ लेंगे. For me personally, still till date, if I have a work, for the whole day it will run through my mind and I won't be able to do other things. I won't be able to enjoy also even for an hour. So what kept you motivated?
Hmm. Burnout is a phase. You will definitely get burnout. Now also, in the last month, I was totally burned out of studying.
Hmm.
What I figured out in July only that if I only studied every day and didn't do any other stuff, I will definitely get burnout. I will waste my 3 to 4 days. Then I will regret it that why I wasted it.
Hmm.
So what you could do, what I did was
Hmm.
I was not a student that used to play so much of sports and other stuff, but I used to talk to my friends.
Hmm.
Uh, most of them came to my house or I went to them and just talk any other things which was not related to school.
Hmm.
And another thing did was I think it could be a controversial because it's a distraction, but I have restricted myself that I will watch
Hmm.
any web series. I will watch one episode like Friends. I will watch every day 20 minutes, but for that 20 minutes I will complete my to-do list.
Hmm.
And if even if I'm completing at 11 or 12 p.m., then also I will watch one episode because that was my gratification. And
Ah.
in my opinion, if what you will see is from today onwards,
Hmm.
put something like if you are sleeping, put things like I will do these things in this week, tomorrow I will do these things.
Hmm.
And if you will complete that goal
Hmm.
after 1 week, the happiness you will feel, it's not like you will feel from instant gratification of
Ah.
watching Instagram, watching movies, or wasting your time, because that happiness is very good. It's not like eating chocolate you will be happy. It's
Absolutely.
the sheer effort you have put in. You
Huh.
have put in 8 hours, 6 hours for
Hmm.
every day, and you have got that result. And that's the motivation that kept me going.
Hmm. So do something that relaxes your mind and not puts burden on it. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि बिग बॉस देखने लग जाओ और सोचते रहो रात भर कि किसने क्या क्यों किया टाइप से ना. ठीक है. Good. Nishant, I think you will be able to answer this question better. We have a question that please share some tips for AILET because the person also has to go to the school regularly. So yeah, guide her.
Okay, so for AILET, as I've been repeating, it's not very different from CLAT. You don't have to do anything out of the blue to get through AILET. It's just that you have to practice the question paper a lot. So maybe one thing that you can do different is to give AILET mocks frequently and then analyze them in a different way from CLAT and get your strategy for it that suits you the best. And then trust yourself that would get you through AILET. AILET is not that difficult. Matlab, the exam in itself is not that difficult. It's just that the competition, what which makes it
Hmm.
difficult, because of course the seats are very limited. So if you are worried about preparing for AILET, it's not a big deal. The thing that you should worry about is how to get better than others. And for getting better, you have the approach, you have your mentors, you have everything. Just you have to do it. So there is nothing different that you have to do for AILET. Something, some little extra thing that you have to maybe put in effort is vocabulary or maybe static GK and analytical reasoning. But apart from them, they are all part of your course curriculum in every CLAT coaching.
Hmm.
So apart from that, you don't have to do anything extra per se. It's just
Hmm.
that you have to practice it a little bit more.
Hmm.
And if your reasoning is on point, if your GK, you are revising GK on a frequent basis, and you are practicing mocks, both
Hmm.
you will score good in both the papers. It's not like that. Obviously you'll see that all the rankers in AILET are
Hmm.
also good rankers in CLATs. There is a reason behind that. And
Yeah.
so if you are preparing good enough for both the papers, you'll get through. There's nothing you have to do extra for that.
Hmm. Okay. And there's one more question that I think you can answer is that is about backlog in current affairs. So how to sail through that? Because someone has asked, can I complete the whole GK? How to complete the whole GK current affairs in last 2 months? So is it practically possible or there's some way around it?
Okay, so see, completing the whole syllabus in 2 months is practically possible, but again, it's very difficult. You have to put in a lot of effort. Maybe
Hmm.
what you can do is to focus on what are the important developments that have taken place in this year.
Hmm.
Because once you start, uh, updating yourself with current affairs regularly,
Hmm.
you understand that there are only 15 to 20 domains in which this world works and which are important to us as well regarding these examinations.
Hmm.
So once you understand and identify these, for example, it's geopolitics that always on the hot box. Then there is some legislative actions that are always talked about. In our paper, judgments are very important. So when you get a hang of it,
Hmm.
identify the most important news and then get a systematic approach to pen them down and then revise it. For example, if something, for example, this year India Pakistan war and all the row that is going on in Asia Cup as well. So it is a vast topic. So firstly, you have to prepare. This is a topic that is highly anticipated. So what you can do is to pen down what is the history behind it, what are the static portion, and then what is the current developments
Hmm.
and something miscellaneous that might be related. For example, the Rafael deal
Hmm.
with uh, France. So yeah, you can get through it. So doing GK in 2 months is possible, I would say. And for second of all, if it is not possible at all, if it's the scene, you after that you have to, even then you have to back yourself to do it.
Hmm.
Otherwise, if you are defeated in your mind, you won't be able to complete anything out of it. So back yourself to do 11 months of GK in 2 months. It's
Hmm.
possible. And even if you are not able to complete it till the end of November, again, then if you will be better off than you would have been if you have chosen the other path, which is of getting demotivated and leaving GK at all. So yeah,
And maybe
it's quite
also
possible.
focus on the topics that are there every day. Like there are some topics
Exactly. Yeah.
which are there in isolation and some topics which are connected to almost everything. There's some development every day, every month, every week. So I believe those are the topics. If you are at a crunch of time or you think I have started studying for it now, those are the topics that you should focus on. And when it's about mocks, also analyze your mocks. Look at how much you are scoring in GK. So if your score is somewhere, let's say 70 to 80, and that is without GK, then I think you can do it. You can still make it. You have that scope there. And now, because someone has asked that I'm stuck between 50 to 60 marks. So with GK part, what Nishan just told us, and with your already performance that is there 50 to 60 marks, try analyzing your mock, that how much you're scoring, ruling out keeping GK as a separate portion. See if that is the score. Agar GK में आपका drop हो रहा है, या that stands true for all the sections actually, I believe. Mostly for GK, क्योंकि GK सबसे कम time attempt करते time when we are actually in the examination, takes very less time and it gives us a lot of score. Unlike maths, where we also have to put in some more efforts. So GK may try to analyze your mocks with that perspective. See if you're able to score 50 to 60 without GK, then yes, what Nishant has just mentioned, you can do that. That would work great for you. And if not, then obviously figure out the weakest area and start with it, start working on it, start practicing it. And that's the key, I think. Harsh, do you want to add on something to that?
Adding about backlog, what you can, it's definitely possible to complete if you have, even if you have not started the GK, but I believe you have started. What you could do is the GK mantra which are given. You can. There was a friend of mine who took my analysis notes and he
Hmm.
revised from it.
Hmm.
There are definitely some people who are taking daily analysis, so you can copy their notes.
Hmm.
Make every, what you can do is, for example, if you are reading today January,
Hmm.
then tomorrow February, then you should also read Jan again.
Hmm.
On the third day, you will read Jan, Feb, March. So what will happen is, if you are taking today 2 hours for Jan, next day you will take only half hour. Another day you will take 10 to 15 minutes. And after a point of time, for example, at the end of October,
Hmm.
you will able to complete the whole 10 11 months GK mantra in around, I think, 2 to 3 hours. You will able to revise all the stuff because you know all the points.
Hmm.
This is the first part of GK. The second part is how to revise the organization. So there are handouts given in our coaching. So you need to remember who are the head, in which year it came, and all the other stuff which could be asked related to it. If there
Hmm.
is something ongoing about those points, you should need to remember.
Hmm.
And there are specific classes in which, for example, if operations Sindoor is taken, then the sir will take a 2 hours class and he will tell about all the operation which have been
Hmm.
in the past few years
Hmm.
and what could be anticipated from these operations. So
Hmm.
you need to revise these points. If you are able to get all these 3 points, then you have done sufficient
Hmm.
because you know all the basics. You are reading newspaper,
Hmm.
analyzing the questions. This is the first step. And somebody has asked how to analyze. The basic part is read the question again, read the paragraph again. When you go to home, first again attempt the question. If you are getting again the same answer, because most of the time what happens is that if you are in, while doing mock you are getting C, and while when you attempt it at home you got A, and A is the correct answer, then you will be able to figure out the first problem is when there is a time restraint, then I am not able to attempt the mock properly. The first problem you need to work at this. And after completing every paper, what I used to do is, after completing paper I used to write. For example, when I used to do in a sequence only because I was not able to find how to attempt it. Sometime I used to do GK first, but in some mocks I was not able to get good marks in GK, and I was
Okay.
not, it didn't
Huh.
get good. The whole paper got blundered. So
Hmm.
I started doing English, then GK, and then a whole other section. What I used to do is, if I have completed the paper started at 2 o'clock, and if I
Hmm.
completed the, for example, English
Hmm.
at 2:24, then at the end of the paper I will
Hmm.
write 2:24 English. If I
Hmm.
completed the GK at 2:34, then what I used to do, on first page I used to write how much time I have given to every section, how much I scored, how much I got wrong, and what what pattern could I find. So after 10 mocks, I was able to get a point that after reading slogs, you can also find that this is the point, that what I am doing. Like for example, I'm using maths time on this. I can get this much time, and then I can invest it on maths. And try to complete the paper in time frame. Try to do as many questions, but with accuracy. Because till now, I believe, because our teacher told us that you should not focus much on attempting the question till now, till October. You should focus on accuracy, but now it's time to also focus on attempt also. That
Right.
in every mock, if it's tough mocks, then it's tough for everyone. But an average, you are attempting 100 questions. Definitely, every person who is studying in Clat Prep will definitely attempt 115 question in the paper. I don't know how, but the adrenaline push will definitely give you that edge. But now try to attempt in every mock 100 or 110 question, because it's the bracket. Because in every mock there will be 10 questions which you don't know. Just leave them. Started believing that you don't know some things. You do know some things which you need to do. It's not like you are the sapient in everything, because we are here to study. And the one thing I can assure you, all the efforts, the maximum which you bleed here definitely will give you the result. And in the next year, in July, you will be the happiest person, because you will love the college, you will love the people there, you will love the vibe there. I believe you will feel the freedom there, because the freedom which you will get, you will study, you will party, you will do all sort of stuff which you have not done till now. Just keep those things in your mind, and it will help you to push. Just
Yeah.
for that, there are last 60 days only. Just every day cut that day like 59, 58.
Yeah.
Just these days remaining, just do what you can do. What I have learned from my preparation is, on the day of the paper, you should not feel like you have not done everything. You should, I have done what I'm capable of. And even if I have got more time, I will not be able to more things, because this is what I capable of, and I will do very good in this exam. Because everybody who will do all the stuff which I have said, and Nishant also said, you will definitely get good marks.
Right.
Don't compare yourself, I think. And
Yeah.
what ma'am told, just follow what teachers are advising, because in the last 10 years, they are seeing what's problem you are making. If he's telling that this is the problem, you do not need to feel like, should I try it? Should I not try it? Ma'am could be wrong. Ma'am is not wrong, because she's seeing all type of students.
So yeah, plan and prioritize everything, and try to work on your shortcomings. And yeah, Harsh rightly said. So that way also, if you analyze 3 mocks a week, it will give you so much more edge than others who are still looking at the sectionals, who are still people who are still trying to figure it out through sectionals. So 3 mocks every week means like 50 to 60 marks. 1 month में आप बहुत कुछ सारा एनालाइज कर लोगे, काफी सारा एनालाइज आप कर सकते हो इन अ मंथ, अगर आप एक वीक में 3 मॉक्स भी ले रहे हो. सो या that's great. And someone, yeah, so if you take these guys very seriously, the viewers, if you're taking them very seriously, yeah, we would like to see you all also on the behind of the magazines like you see them. तो तुम लोग भी वहीं आ सकते हो अगर इन लोगों की बातें थोड़ा seriously लो, rather than spamming the chat. Because जो लोग actually genuine doubts पूछ रहे हैं, उनके doubts कहीं खो जा रहे हैं because of all that spam. काफी सारे निशांत fans भी हैं यहाँ पर. है ना? And so coming back to it, so focus on quality, not on the quantity. बहुत ज्यादा exert मत करो अपने आप को. सारी चीजें जितनी भी जो भी these guys have told, put them into practice, aim for consistency. And if you are going to school, fit them around your schedule. And जो भी high priorities area है उन्हें tackle करो, अपने weaknesses को tackle करो. और legal, logical, maths जो section है, put extra focus on them if you think that's your weakness, that is a weak area. But do not ignore any of the section. And other thing, to sum it up, is that daily to-do list or weekly to-do list you have to make that, you know. And I think what I'm just telling now to the viewers, you guys should note it down that daily for maths, daily practice DI at least one set, 5 to 6 questions, one set maths का daily हमें करना है. Doesn't matter हम maths में अच्छे हैं या नहीं है. अगर नहीं है तो हमें definitely करना है as निशान said, और अगर हैं तो भी करना है so that we can maintain it. And also one legal reasoning set daily, so that we can get used to the topics that we have not or may not have seen till now. GK revision, newspaper analysis must do hai, because it helps with you with all the sections and not just GK or legal or English. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as I earlier mentioned, RC practice karo. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, logical reasoning practice karo. And don't think ki, and actually, if you guys have not looked at PYQs, I think you should definitely practice and look at 2023 paper, because that was a very difficult one in the experiences of people who have attempted that year. It was a difficult paper, right? And take your task, make your to-do list, finish karo use, dekho apna progress kitna ho raha hai, because visually seeing that process will give you some sort of confidence, consistency आएगा. तो ये सारी चीजें you have to do and balance obviously, but it's just a matter of 2 months यार. It's not much actually. मतलब 2 महीना तो ऐसे ही हो जाता है, पता भी नहीं चलता है कहाँ. you'll blink an eye and और फिर obviously 2021 के बाद से तो सब कुछ वैसे ही बहुत जल्दी भाग रहा है as per all the conspiracy theories, है ना. तो मॉक टेस्ट भी देखो, एनालिसिस भी करो, डू एवरीथिंग एंड spend more time on analyzing the mocks. जो भी commerce students होंगे, they would know something called SWOT analysis. Your strengths, your weakness, the opportunities that are there, and the threats that you have. So look at your strengths, maintain that. Look at your weaknesses, try to improve it. Look at the opportunities where you can get an edge over other aspirants, and look at the threats कि कौन सा एरिया हमें बहुत डरा रहा है, तो उस डर से ओवरकम करो. जितना ज्यादा यू फेस योर फियर, you will be more better. You'll become good at it better with each passing day. Okay, so ये सारी चीजें हमें करनी है. Obviously for mock analysis हमें logbook बनाना है proper, and before attempting every mock, logbook में आपने जो भी लिखा है, question number, topic, whatever errors you have made, look at them before going for every mock. Doesn't matter if it's a silly mistake, doesn't matter if it's a serious mistake. And एनालाइज करते टाइम अपने फ्लूक्स को भी नोट डाउन करो, बिकॉज फ्लूक्स अगेन आपका स्कोर ऊपर से नीचे जा सकता है, स्पेशली फॉर सेक्शन लाइक लॉजिकल. एंड एट दिस स्टेज नाउ, बिकॉज वी हैव some time left now, it has all become about attempt versus accuracy, which is actually the theme of the paper. ज़्यादा attempt करोगे doesn't matter, it should be more about accuracy, and you should be able to attempt more with more accuracy, but that will only happen if you practice your papers. If you, ऐसा नहीं है कि हम mocks practice करें तो हम sectionals भूल जाएंगे बिल्कुल भी. You still have to keep on practicing your sectionals every now and then. It just takes 15-20 minutes. So do that also. That will also help you. कभी नहीं मन किया एनालाइज करने का कुछ, तो ठीक है, हमने सेक्शनल कर लिया. इट टेक्स 15 minutes. रात को सोने से पहले फोन चला रहे हैं, फोन में जस्ट लॉग इन टू योर स्टूडेंट पोर्टल एंड देन अटेम्प्ट इट. इट्स दैट इजी, है ना. तो all of these things you have to keep in mind. You have understood all the analysis and accuracy strategies. Last minute जो भी tips था, tricks था, ट्रिप ही घूम रहा है मेरे दिमाग में, आई थिंक. बट तुम लोग ट्रिप्स का फोकस मत करना. दैट यू विल गेट वंस यू गो टू कॉलेज. just 2 more months and I am sure you will have the best time of your life in the next coming 5 years. ये 5 साल का कमिटमेंट बहुत बड़ा नहीं लगेगा तुम लोगों को, बहुत टफ नहीं लगेगा. Obviously you will have your own ups and downs, but the person that you will become after those 5 years, in retrospect, if when you will look at it, you will find out that there's a drastic change in your personality, in the way you are, in the way the person that you have become, right? तो उसका starting अभी से हो रहा है. And as these guys are reiterating, whatever you are doing right now would not go to waste. All your analyzing skills, all your reading skills, that will give you an edge over your college mates also. Okay, so obviously each day counts. और ये ऐसे निकलेगा, again you guys will not be able to figure out कैसे निकल गया, तो जल्दी जल्दी अपना preparation करो. And the mindset keep your mindset strong, which is a very important thing. Your mental strength changes the game. Because these guys have also mentioned time and again that you have to keep your mindset positive. You cannot just break down with one negative answer or agar score, because mocks, when we look at the mocks, काफी बार ये होता है कि एक मॉक में हमारा स्कोर आ गया 95, but the next mock it dropped down to 65, because the mocks also vary. Mocks are made by different people, and if you are someone who's giving mocks from different coaching institutes, some online mocks, so you have to understand that mocks are made by different person. So what all of us together are trying to do, we are trying to prepare you for everything. So if you're prepared, again, on the note that I started with, if you're prepared for the worst, you, if anything easy comes up, you'll be able to like nail it. You will not be even worried about, क्या हो रहा है एग्जाम में, क्या हो गया है. So वो stress अपने आप चला जाएगा, right? So keep in mind whatever these guys have mentioned, all of it, and keep that in mind. And Nishan, do you have anything to say about the mindset? Do you want them to tell anyone or anything, or have we all covered it all? Anything that you would like to say? Nishant, you're on mute.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So I was saying, not very much. We are pretty much covered with everything. It's just that keep in mind, it's just 2 months. You have to put in all your work and you have to make it count because this is the business end of your preparation. So everything that you have done for this moment in the past 1 or 2 years or even 2 months, so you have to now get it through. It's just the last stretch, last mile. Go forward and be the best version of yourself after 2 months, as ma'am rightly said, and I can now experience it in the hindsight. I believe that this preparation has shaped a lot of my personality. Right now, whatever I am, a major chunk of it is due to as I have prepared for CLAD. I have learned how to deal with setbacks, how to get your feel good about your positives, and how to get patient with everything, how to see a trajectory in what you do and play the long game in a long run. So yeah, that you all would realize these are words that are uh, understood with experience. So even if I am saying right now, you might say, or I am blabbering, but eventually you will understand that whatever you do right now would get you dividends in the future. So
Hmm.
yeah, just keep in the work and play, enjoy. Like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Please
Absolutely.
don't be a dull boy or girl. Have fun as well. Hannah, it's just a part of your life, not your whole life.
Hmm.
So don't rely on it completely.
Hmm.
Just uh, make it the part of your lifestyle, because again, reading and then analyzing statutes, this is a law school thing, but analyzing statutes and analyzing some texts and analyzing judgments would be your whole life. So this is that base you are preparing to be a lawyer or a judge or anyone in the legal field, even in academia. If you are planning to be a teacher of the legal subject, this is something that will go on with you or your whole life. And this is a profession that requires study, like medical, teaching, and law are the three subjects that requires studying your whole life. So this is your life. Better you embrace it and then go forward. Yeah, that is what
Right.
I would like to say. And be positive. That's it.
Great. So, yeah, we are almost about to wrap up now. So, to everyone who's watching, just I want to leave you with just this thought. Whatever Nishant and Harsh they have said, just to summarize it. This you still have chance. Don't get disheartened कि बहुत कम time बचा है. Plan wisely and practice daily. Practice करो. Track everything. Be consistent with whatever you are doing. कितना भी कर रहे हो, बी कंसिस्टेंट विद इट. डोंट फोकस ऑन कि किसी ने ज्यादा कर लिया, किसी ने कम कर लिया. मत देखो दूसरों को. बस दे पुट दिस थिंग अराउंड हॉर्सेस आईज. जस्ट put that and then just keep walking straight, and with all the confidence and consistency you will be able to put it. And this hard work, trust us, it will not go to waste. It will define your success. You will look back after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, or when you're in the profession, you'll look back at this time and, it'll all come back to you and you'll be very grateful for the troubles that you are facing today. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much to Harsh and Nishant, and for sharing your insights, your experiences, and for everyone else who has taken out this time. 2 hours is a long time, especially with the attention span that we have nowadays, and especially at this time जब तुम लोग कॉलेज में हो, it's your time to have fun, and ये लोग जो सोने की तैयारी में है अब कि कब खाना खाएं कब सोएं. ठीक है. So remember that the next 60 days are yours to take charge of. Go after your dream NLU, focus, strategize, and be determined, and we can assure that you have got it. Thank you, Nishant. Thank you, Harsh. I'll see you guys later. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.